Hello and welcome to Sci-Fi-Night Light. This is a different segment of a show where we talk about random topics that relate to sci-fi and horror in some way. So, in the last episode of Sci-Fi-Night Light, we took a look at some futuristic sports from a range of different sci-fi movies. In this episode, we're going to check out some diverse forms of futuristic gladiator battle. Let's start with something modern. The 2009 film Gamer, starring Gerard Butler, revolves around a concept that combines America's love for video games, reality TV, and seeing less fortunate people suffer. The wrongfully accused Cable must survive 30 levels of games where your body is controlled by some nerdy gamer in order to earn his freedom. Sort of like virtual reality but inside someone else's body, and fighting to the death. Essentially, this is kind of like Death Race but with video games. And also, Michael C. Hall is hilariously awesome in this.
I've got you under my skin.
In the 2011 film Arena, we get what is more or less just a modern take on Gladiator games. The twist? These men fight to the death in virtual reality simulators to entertain the internet.
Give me 9 more fights and win. And in the words of Abraham Lincoln, I'll set you free.
Also, it seems Samuel L. Jackson wanted to buy a new car or something because he's in this for some inexplicable reason.
What we have here is a failure to communicate.
With a title so similar, let's drift to the 1989 film Steel Arena, sometimes also going under the name just Arena. Confusing enough? Well, this one takes itself even less seriously and features different types of species fighting each other in what is basically just the UFC of the future, but without an actual cage and a program that levels out the strengths and weaknesses of each species. Now, admittedly, these humans and aliens don't fight to the death, but there don't seem to be a whole lot of rules or penalties, so I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of people actually did die doing this. Next up, we've got Mad Max 3 Beyond Thunderdome from 1985, starring Mel Gibson and Tina Turner. So I guess there ain't no mountain high enough to keep people from fighting in the Thunderdome. In this film, disputes are settled by what seems to be the only way to solve problems in the future, a fight to the death. I guess a debate isn't cool enough in the future.
Now when men get to fighting, it happens here, and it finishes here. 2 men enter, 1 man leaves.
From the desolated wastes of the future to an eerie depiction of a not-too-distant Japan, we continue with the 2000 film Battle Royale. In this version of Japan, the government has a very brutal way of keeping crime and teen rebellion down. They set an example by having a randomly chosen class of high schoolers fight to the death until only one remains.
人生はゲームです。みんな必死になって戦って。
This is by far the best film on the list. It's got both dark and satirical humor, as well as some gruesome and bloody moments. So it's definitely well worth your time if you for some insane reason haven't seen it already.
白岩学園3年 B 組の皆さん、こんにちは。
はい、こんにちは。
今日皆さんは幸運にも今年度バトルロワイヤルの大賞クラスに選ばれました。おめでとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
In the year 1989, the film Robot Jox was released. In this alternate future, war is illegal, though how one actually controls this is unclear. Either way, disputes are now settled by having a representative from each territory fight to the death in giant Gundam Wing-style robots.
I'm gonna get in this thing, and I'm gonna kick your ass!
We round off with a film by none other than Lucio Fulci, The New Gladiators, also known as Rome 2072 AD. However, unlike most of his films, this features absolutely zero zombies. In this film, a TV network starts up what is more or less just futuristic gladiator games with motorcycles.
Death for the loser. Glory for the winner.
And also for some reason these motorcycles explode very easily, so maybe you might be better off on foot. So, that about does it for this episode of Sci-Fi Night Light. We hope you enjoyed it. I'm your host, Sebastian Martinez, and I'm signing out.